the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. With the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Gummy, back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos, it's in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Pop up. You need a, in case the moodies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. No. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me, I live in you. Both of our fire offend you.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a bite, now lace in no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one in the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis.
Running free. It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Devontae Freeman, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Atlanta Falcons taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. Boy, shifts past him. And some room to roam now. A big seam, and he might go all the way.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Bernard. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run it here with Bernard. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Now Bernard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Deion Jones able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And this will be taken at the 13. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. 18 yards there and a first down.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. And who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 25 carries, 131 yards, and also the score. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now it's Ryan. He gets it to Brown. Good play. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4. Able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Get up!
Here's Ryan to throw. Roberts got it. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. An unlucky number here, a loss of 13 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And maybe just lucky to get that pass away.
And maybe should have held on to it because I don't know what you thought. That didn't look like the primary receiver to me.
No, I don't think it was.
I agree. I think he's coming to a secondary target. Maybe in that situation, you don't throw it at all. Eat it, take care of the football. They're fortunate nothing bad happened on that one.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
He's going to loft one, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Spins past him. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Coleman. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Coleman now. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
Some good, strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to run with Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. It oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. A beautiful fake. And all that but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On second down, Wilson. And this one is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Falcons on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. On first down, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who are out in front in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. 28-3, the final score. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley. Check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. They'll run again with Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Ryan on second down. Man open left side is Brown. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching. How the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to drop those types of plays because coverage is just going to go. To the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll go down at the 28. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Tack McKinley, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Play action. It's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. Well, let's see, he was 8 of 13 prior to that pass, now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game, not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But it was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. On 2nd down, Freeman. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Ryan. Hard throw, incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing now is Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Wilson to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game, that means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire